Hi, it's Micah. Today I wanted to compare the Tarot de la Nuit versus my RWS from the Dark Forest. It's the watercolor edition. Look at the beautiful box. My complaint with this is like it shows dings so easily, but whatever. It's pretty. Now, I did read all the meanings in the book. Just so you know, it's written in like first person. So each card is like a character embodying that and talking to you. Um, Not all the meanings were perfect. I'm gonna, give my own spin on it. So we got the Fool. This deck doesn't have very much symbolism at all. Just like the Hush, it was pre-existing artwork for the most part. So for the Fool, we have this beautiful woman painting. So she's creating her own life for herself, her own destiny, and doesn't quite have the full scope and picture of that yet, but is going through it anyway, which is a joyous, beautiful thing. All right. So the Magician, I definitely get that vibe of manifestation. Like she's telling you if you want it, you have to do it. You have to do the work. You have to create your own destiny. All right. The High Priestess. We got the towers and the moon, and the book instead of the scroll. To me, she looks kind of caught off guard. Maybe you're coming to her with an important question. Maybe your intuition is telling you something maybe you're not ready to hear, but that's very important. Okay, the Empress. Much more laid back, right? But she's surrounded by the flowers. She has a huge stone throne. She's quite comfortable. She almost looks a little lazy. I mean, that's quite the slouch going on, but beautiful nonetheless. So, the Emperor. Since he's in armor instead of sitting on a throne, you get more of that vibe of like, I fought for what I have. I only have control over the situation because I put in the necessary work to, claim that territory. So I think it's a little bit more powerful than just a man on a throne. The Hierophant. So he's doing the same hand gestures. His staff is... Oh, I thought it was different. It's actually the same on top. This distracted me. We still have the pillars. So most of these cards are just going to have one person in them, which is fine. It kind of makes it feel more like a personal exploration, which I'm cool with. So the Lovers. This is like a simplified close-up. I don't like the fact that she looks a little unsure. But also raises that question of like choice, right? And that's what the Lovers card is about. Making those choices. All right, so the Chariot. She's on a magic carpet. I'm not quite sure about like the chess pieces because she's by herself. But maybe that's hinting like she's playing the game. Like she's playing the game of her own life. She's in control of both sides of the board. She is telling the carpet where to go. Like her mind's made up and she is off to the races. I'm picturing carpet races now. Okay, strength card. Beautiful. So the infinity sign's down here. She has the wreath in her hair. That lion is just beautiful. I'm glad she's not manhandling it. Look at those piercing eyes. So pretty. Alright, this hermit card. She got the lantern. She's looking to the left. She has a crow companion. And like, you go, girl. Let me see. Is that better? I've had problems taking pictures of this deck. It is glossy, and my phone makes it so much worse than it is in person. Like, in person, it looks fabulous. Actually, in person right now, it looks super dark in here, so yeah. Just so you know, filming is difficult. So, for the Wheel of Fortune, we got the Fates instead. So, the 3 Fates. She looks quite worried. Like, oh man, that sucks that's gonna happen to that person. But basically, so I don't necessarily like the idea of like your destiny being planned out. That's not how I view it. But I don't know. The whole witchy idea of fates is pretty. So Justice, look at her commanding, right? She got the scales and the sword. Very commanding presence, which I like. Instead of sitting down idly, she's standing and ferocious. Hanged Man, another pretty one. So there's flowers up here, and she's like holding a flower. So it's like maybe she's not ready to let go of something, or maybe she's focusing on this one in particular. Like, I really got to be thinking about this right now and how I view it. All right. The Death card, it's just, you know, Dias de los Muertos, Day of the Dead style. Really pretty, though. Temperance. Okay, so I gotta point this out. So, a lot of times with decks like this, I need to, like, maybe look at the card in front or behind to, like, paint a better picture. Sorry. So, the fact that Temperance comes after the Death card, like, the mirror behind her, or glass, something behind her is broken, and the light is shining down. So, like, now that a situation has ended, she knows she needs to take that time to create that balance in her life, and figure out, like, where she's going to go from here. So it's almost like the Four of Swords after the Three of Swords, right? Taking that time to get accustomed to the change. So yeah, we don't have the mixing, but yeah, this deck's just different. And I do like the fact that the water is like spilling onto this lotus, like creating new life. All right, the Devil. This is a very sexy. We got well, not the dead person in the background, but we have a very sexy woman here, trying to persuade you, lead you astray, maybe do some things that aren't in your best interests. So, the Tower. I've said before, like, the Tower's already a big card when it comes up in a spread, so I don't mind, like, toned down towers. And, man, I forget what the book said. It took me, like, a few days with reading with work. But how I'm going to look at this is maybe like this is like the aftermath. It's showing like the devastation that like already happened, and the like evil can like spread. I don't know. All right, the star looks like she's only dumping into the water, but it's like whatever. Got the big star, little stars in the background. She's like a fairy. So once again, the star comes after the tower, so it's bringing back that that hope for possibilities after the destruction of an idea of a relationship. The moon. So might as well just put that card down. So, okay, she's like wandering around at night in the shadows, and it's that you need to learn to recognize your fears and work on them instead of letting them like overcome you. Like that's the first step, right? Like identifying the problems, um, and then turning it around to work in a positive way. Realizing that you can now use your intuition and what you need to shine a light on to move forward. So the sun, not traditional, but she's like leaning into it off the cliff, and the petals are like falling. Like, you know, when it's like a nice day, when summer first starts and you go outside and it's like beaming on you and it just makes you feel good, right? Like that warmth and it sense of safety and youth. I love this Judgment card. Okay, so I'm not a traditional fan here. Look at this. So, yeah. All right, we'll get a Fool over here. So they're like walking through like a portal or a gateway. This person's being led or like told to follow these hooded figures. So it's time for that awakening, that change. Um, you have to leave some stuff behind to better yourself. The World, since this deck's about the moon, like we got the moon in the background, a full moon, like the end of that cycle. Very pretty. I mean, she looks poised and satisfied, like the owl has came back and told her of the completion, you know, that whatever work is finally done and you can relish in that for a while. The Ace of Cups, I like that she's reaching towards like her chest, symbolizing the emotions. She has like her eyes closed so she can feel it. That initial feeling. Hopefully it's a good one. So the Two of Cups, I really like that in the book it states that to truly have a relationship, like a successful relationship with somebody else, you have to respect yourself and love yourself and keep your own needs in mind. So yeah, I like that take. It's not always about, oh, I'm gonna, you know, fall in love with somebody new, or it's not always about that. And you gotta keep your own mental health and well-being in check. I know there's like stains on the dress and whatever, but it's just a gothic-y deck, so not everything needs to mean something. For me, it can just be what it is. So, Three of Cups, I like. She's just tea partying with the animals. Like, look at this bunny's face and the kitty. Like, they're chilling. She's happy. They're happy. And, like, gorgeous. Yes, I know this deck isn't diverse, and it's very, like, skinny, pretty white people, but I think it's beautiful, and I read for myself. So, take it or leave it. All right, Four of Cups. So this is definitely hinting about like that boredom, but also maybe you need to take this time to maybe not take a new opportunity, to focus on, you know, what's going on with what you have right now and why it might not be working for you. But also, at the other edge of that sword, right, is that if you don't keep an eye out for new opportunities, they may pass you by and you may be stuck in this state longer. All right, the Five of Cups. This card's beautiful. So it's like a mermaid on a rock, like watching her Prince Charming sail away. Like I said, the book is written in first person, so it does it implies that these characters like live in this card, but you don't have to. Like eventually she's going to have to get off of that rock and like move on with her life. Okay, Six of Cups. So how do I word this? This is like, you know, a stroll down memory lane, and the light represents like the new hope that you can't stay in the thoughts of the past like forever. Like she's thinking of maybe her childhood or people that are no longer around. And it's okay to revisit that. You just can't like stay in nothingness, because then you're not moving forward. You're not accomplishing anything. All right, so Seven of Cups. Instead of these options, we have these like weird floaty blob things. But I like the fact that her eyes are closed. So it's basically she's focusing so much of her energy on what options there are and not knowing which one to choose that she's not doing anything. Like this person's just standing here like, oh wow. So like you can't stay here forever. All right, the Eight of Cups, leaving things behind. So she does have a little like remark on her face of like, are you coming? Like she's gonna leave this path into the foggy unknown, but it is illuminated. That like come hither expression, which this card can be like an emotional card. So her face maybe like softens that blow a little bit. Like we're gonna be okay, you know. We'll be all right. You just gonna keep going. The Nine of Cups. So she got her happy frog. I know this can be referred to as the wish card, and that's why it says she has like clovers on her dress. And oh yeah, she's holding one too. But yeah, she's like emotionally fulfilled with herself. She has like what she needs. She's happy where she is. She feels luxury. I'm not a super big fan of this Ten of Cups. But basically, so we got little like hearts, gold hearts like dangling. So like emotional fulfillment. And we're just gonna say like she like say maybe owns this happy garden. Where her and her loved ones can enjoy it. So the Page of Cups, instead of a fish in a cup, we got a mermaid. So it says that the skull is not representing men that she like lured with her song and drowned, but that it's symbolic of the people that didn't follow their creativity and their passion and their emotion. And she is youthful. She looks a little flirty, so that can be that immature emotion, right? She wants you to play and be creative. All right, the Knight of Cups. Simply, she's like leading with her heart. She's moving forward. So in the page, we have she's stagnant. And then in the Knight, we see movement. So the Queen, she has the biggest cup, right? So sometimes that that need to take care of others emotionally can leave you in a state of like worry. So she's thinking about all the people in her kingdom and like how to help them, how things can be the best, how to make everyone happy, and that can leave you feeling a little bit isolated because you got to make sure that you care about you. I know, because I'm dealing with getting over that right now. All right, the King of Cups. So in comparison, he looks much more in control of his emotions, right? His face is kind of serious, but like kind of smiling at the same time, which I think is great. And these like sparks in his veins are like that emotional desire and things like that, but they're not like clouding his judgment. Like they're not making it up to his brain. So like to the point where he can't, articulate his desires. I hope I'm making sense. All right, Ace of Pentacles. The aces in this deck are a little odd. So we're gonna say like, right, okay. So vampires live forever. And so over that time, like you accumulate wealth, right? I mean, hopefully. They're probably smart enough to like join the stock market when it opens and all those things. So typically in movies and stuff, you see vampires as being quite well off. So we're just going to go with that. So we got like a Cinderella vibe in this. The balancing for her, I don't love that it's 2 clocks, but I get it. She's juggling time. So yeah, basically juggling your resources, your time, your energy, how much you can invest in a particular project, that you might not be able to do everything that you want unless you systematically like figure out how to make things work, like schedule it. So 3 of Pentacles, like I said, there's typically only one person in the cards. So you still have that church reference, and she's reading the book, right? So that's instruction, and she's like manifesting. So we're just gonna say it's like you're in the room with her, and you're discussing on how like to make things work, how to make the dream come true. The Four of Pentacles. So the story behind this one is that she is well off, she is wealthy, she has accumulated great things in life, but she's like stuck there now. If you don't want to share, if you don't want to invite people with less of a high standing as you into your life, then you're just like alone and rich and sad, yeah. Don't focus too much on what you own because it ends up owning you, like the Fight Club stuff, right? All right, the Five of Pentacles. So I like that it looks like she could be like a fallen angel, like fell from grace. And the things that she has like look like they were expensive, right? But she lost that. Like she's alone in the cold now. So maybe she held on to things too tight and everything crashed down, and she didn't have that foundation of, emotional support from the other people. All right, Six of Pentacles. This one is more RWS. She got the scales. She got the coins. They're going in your direction. So yes, I know this is a Black Swan reference. This one's a little difficult. So we got the guy waiting for the harvest. So she already got a crown. So she's already like put work in and accomplishing things, but she wants more. Like maybe she's scratching because she wants those wings to bloom now. Like she wants to have that full reward, full fulfillment. And you can be left in patience or uncertainty. They're doing construction now. I'm sorry. So Eight of Pentacles, instead of hard work, we got hard studying, right? So she's like submerged in her work and her books. You can see that her clothes are like tattered and dingy. Like she was so caught up in learning that she's like not taking care of herself anymore. So yes, you can be like a hard worker, but this kind of shows that maybe you need to keep your life a little bit more balanced. It can't be work all the time. So the Nine of Pentacles, in the book it talks about like receiving that harvest, but I don't see it really in the card. But she does look luxurious, like she has everything she needs. I mean, look at that dress and that architecture in the background. So, all right, the Ten of Pentacles, it's difficult because there's like not the family scene, but the fact that she has like this huge crown made of gold on her head, and that she like has like threads in her hand makes me think that she's like weaving the fate of her descendants with her wealth, right? Like she knows that her family won't have to worry about money. All right, Page of Pentacles. So they're both holding material in their hand and looking at it. So that's like similar. You're like you're grasping it. So the Knight is different, but even though she does look like she's in battle, we're going to say that the scythe represents the sowing of the fields, right? Like the putting in the work to get the harvest. And she's not moving in the picture, so it shows that slow growth. All right, Queen of Pentacles, facing the same direction. Instead of a throne, we have these arches and a gate in the background. So it's like she holds the key to the kingdom, but I like that the doors are open. So it shows that that compassion, that willingness to share, like she's letting you into her kingdom. All right. And the King of Pentacles, we have the castle in the background. I don't like this. Like, this looks like a lion to me instead of the cow, but it's okay. You got the pentacles, some coins down here. So yeah, he looks regal. He worked hard for what he has. He, oh, there's grapes too. Yeah. I don't want this video to be super long. I got stuff I gotta go do. I'm trying. All right, Ace of Wands. So she has the lock here, and it's saying like you have like you're presented the key. Like, so instead of it being the wand, it's that idea of unlocking the new idea, the creative project, that drive. So Two of Wands, instead of holding the world, she is holding a skull, which says she uses like a crystal ball to decide like where to go. Like, because without any input, it's kind of, you can go anywhere type of thing, and she's trying to figure out like that advice. And then in the Three of Wands, we have this woman holding the skull as well, but she doesn't look like she's pondering. She looks like she's doing. So, like, if you picture this person, like, from the back, it wouldn't be that unsimilar. Um, but yeah, it's either she's waiting for the ships to come in, or she just did a big work of magic and she's waiting for the results. But definitely like in that process, like whether it's just starting to embark on it, but the decision like has been made. Like she's doing it. So, I'm going to say instead of this traditional like celebration card, I'm going to take it kind of like the Four of Swords, but in a more positive way. So, she's taking a rest because of the work that she just put in. She's like, okay, now I can like sit down, relax for a little bit, enjoy like what I've manifested, what's coming to me. So that's fine. And all right, the Five of Wands. The more I thought about it, the more I like this card. So most people like don't fight with sticks, right? Most nowadays, most competition or disagreements, they agree like verbally, right? There's an error in like communication. Like neither side necessarily wants to back down, but they can't come to that settlement, that agreement. So yeah, it's like less violent, but it doesn't mean that it's less like emotionally tumultuous. I can't say words. I tried, guys. All right, Six of Wands. This card doesn't look super victorious to me. I wish it could be like animated. Like if like these flowers like woof, like you know, like if they could come to life in the card and like bloom in front of me, then I'd be like, "Oh." But yeah, that's not going to happen right now. But yeah, whatever, I'll take it. All right, Seven of Wands. So this one's similar. She's being attracted by like a vine thing, the same one you see in the tower. But yeah, fending them off. So Eight of Wands, she doesn't really show like super movement, but it's almost like she's like dropped what she was working on, is like, I'm out. Like there is, I don't know. She's moving. We're gonna leave it at that. She made a decision and she's going in one direction. Quickly. All right, Nine of Wands, very similar. She looks kind of tired, right? She's like, I ain't put my wine down yet. Like I'm not giving up. I love this card. It's I want to see it in a reading. I didn't get to do any of that yet. So, Ten of Wands, like that, the burden of trying to do too much. Sometimes, you know, you just want to be like, let it all burn down. Like, I just can't anymore. And that's like really the feeling I get from this. And like, she's not running away from her problems. She's just maybe not dealing with them in the best way. All right, Page of Wands. So instantly when I seen this card, because okay, the wands, that burst of like motivation, the doing, the drive, I see like this girl's about to turn into a werewolf. Like that's my take on the card. She got those glowing eyes. She's not yet like doing anything about it, but like it's growing in her. Like she's like, yeah, I'm gonna do some. I'm gonna do some things pretty soon. Like she's about to leap. All right. Knight of Wands. So she's just badass. I like that there is like the fiery colors in this card. So she has like blood on her and stuff. And she is courageous and fearless and going for it. She doesn't really care if she hurts anybody. She is getting it done. I didn't like this card until I stared at it and I reread it and I stared at it more. I mean, I wish there was a cat. And in the book it says like about sunflowers and there's one sunflower in the corner. But But if you look at these, look at that movement, right? Like her hair's flowing, her dress is open. She's ready to like dance, to do the thing. She's not afraid. So she's like courageous and charming and strikes awe in you. And like she gets stuff done. Like she doesn't look lazy. She's not just like sitting there. Like she's doing it. All right. The King of Swords, or King of Wands, I'm so sorry. But yeah, I really like the courts in some of these. Like, so he does have the salamander dude, and he got the lions in the background. I wish the coloration was more like fiery, but look how more charismatic he looks, right? Like and it says that he doesn't like victimize people. He only like drains the blood of people that are like spineless and lazy. He wants you to be the best version of you and to be like strong and like do it. Do it. All right, Ace of Swords. Okay, all I can really say about this is that I like that the mind is illuminated. So we got thought, right? That spark of thought. Two of Swords. So she has to make the decision of letting this man drown or help him and him maybe, you know, wake up and be like, oh crap, that's a mermaid, and go tell his like friends. So it's the decision making, and she doesn't have much time to do it. It's a hard decision, but she has to make it like rather quickly. So the Three of Swords, this card is a lot. It's a lot. It's a lot. So there's like a dead animal. I'm going to say it's a bird. I don't know. And like a vial of blood and like a heart wrapped in between her boobs. And she has like one black eye. Like legit, like her eyeball. But in the book, it says that she is trapped in a place of sorrow. But that you don't have to be. Take this time to grieve, let it go, and move on. Don't be hurt. Don't be stuck. So that leads us into the Four of Swords, the Rest card. Taking that time to heal yourself, go away from people, get some quiet time, and work it out. Work it out. All right, the Five of Swords. She knows she's not doing what people would approve of, but she's doing what she feels she needs to do to succeed. So she's going to stake some vampires. Six of Swords. At first, when I was edging the deck, I didn't notice, but yes, she is in a boat. And there's a lantern, and that dress is gorge. But, so, like, the body posture and expression is, like, she's, like, tilting her head back and, like, breathing that sigh of, like, I'm letting it go. I'm moving on. Like, I'm doing it. And I think that's captured pretty well. Seven of Swords. Okay, so you can see this person's, like, looking back. And then we got, like, a person back here. So, it's like whether she realizes or not, like somebody caught on to what she's doing. She has like a flower and she's fleeing. Like she's like, I gotta get out of here. She's also embarrassed that like the moon is shining so much light that it's like revealing her betrayal. All right, Eight of Swords. So she's not tied up. Or blindfolded, but her eyes are closed. So, all right. So she's stuck in this moment of not like moving. Like she's stuck in her head. She's laying there. She's not sleeping. She's dwelling, right? She's thinking, doesn't know what to do. Got a letter, things that maybe need to be said, need to be done, goals that need to be made, decisions. But right now she's just being stagnant. She isn't ready to move forward. She isn't ready to decide. So the Nine of Swords, she's like in a music box and she's like, oh no, it's broken. Like trapped in her head that things are never going to get better again. And you can just take it as like overwhelming worry. Like she's so distraught and unsure and potentially afraid that she can't do anything. She's like stuck. She can't sleep. She's not accomplishing anything. She's not moving forward. All right, Ten of Swords. So, no stabby. But this person is floating in the water, just overcome with the fact that, like, they've been betrayed, that they were, like, stabbed in the back. And they're just taking that time to, you know, float and think about it and grieve. And then they're going to get up. And then they're going to move on. Bad things happen. People do bad things. So, Page of Swords, typically, like, holding the sword, like, practicing. And, like, she looks like she's like, all right, I'm ready. Like, I like the motion going on here. She's like, you know, I've been studying. I've been learning. I've been going to classes. Like, I'm ready to start, like, doing. Like, I want to make my words, you know, actions. I don't know. So Knight of Swords, I'm super disappointed that we don't have the movement, right? That's sad to me. Yes, I know this is the Jon Snow card. I did not talk about all the movie references in this. But, okay, so there's a few options. Either he's, like, praying before he goes into battle, but that implies thought that we usually don't associate with, like, the ego of running with it before thinking about it. So it's a different take on the card. Or it could be, like, I don't know, that he's, like, just stabbed somebody and is, like, gonna pull the sword out and then, like, continue on his battle. I don't know. All right. Queen of Swords. Yeah. The courts and the swords are probably my least favorite. But, so she's, like, holding the sword. Her eyes are closed. She's in thought. She doesn't have the time for, like, flattery. She wants, come in, tell me the truth. I almost feel like she's the type that would, like, roll her eyes if you're like, oh no, but I had such a bad day and I couldn't accomplish it because blah, 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 blah. Like, she doesn't want to hear excuses. Like, she's not about that. Like, she wants things done. King of Swords. So he's just holding the sword. You got a skull here. So he is looking at you, but he's, like, shrouded. I feel like he's kind of, like, looking down, like he's in his own thoughts, but he does look in control. Like, he doesn't look like somebody you would want to lie to or mess with. Yeah. And then we got the last card, bonus card. I don't know if I'm going to keep it in the deck or if I'm going to give it a certain meaning. Like, if this comes up, then it means blank. Because I wasn't super crazy about the book. So, thanks for watching. There's some spreads in here, so I might pull out this deck again and do some for you. Thank you.